A mysterious disappearance, puzzling clues, and a killer with a twisted motive. As strange details gradually emerge, people realize that the truth is even more terrifying than they ever imagined. On August 31st, 2016, Charlie Carver, 32 years old, and his girlfriend Kayla Brown, 30 years old, had planned to go out for dinner with friends. It was an important occasion because Kayla was eager to introduce Charlie to her closest friends. But then, they suddenly vanished without a trace. Their family and friends were unable to contact them. Everything seemed to come to a strange halt. As the police launched their investigation, they discovered unsettling details. The couple's apartment remained untouched, with no signs of forced entry or struggle. But what sent chills down their spines was the sight of Kayla's dog, Romeo, left alone in the apartment without food or water. Kayla had never been away from her dog for that long. So, what happened to Charlie and Kayla? Why did they suddenly disappear? And who was behind all of this? Let's uncover the investigative process and the horrifying truth behind this case. If you're interested in true crime cases and gripping criminal investigations, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any stories. On the evening of August 31st, 2016, Charlie Carver and Kayla Brown planned to have dinner with friends, but never showed up. At first, people assumed they were busy or had changed their plans, but the next day, no one could reach them. Their phones were turned off, and there were no bank transactions or social media activity. On September 3rd, Charlie's mother requested that the apartment complex management check on them. What they found was bizarre. Everything inside the apartment was neatly arranged, with no signs of a struggle. Kayla's clothes, glasses, and prescription medications were still there. Her car remained parked outside, but Charlie's car was missing. The most alarming discovery was Kayla's dog, Romeo, left alone for days without food or water. Everyone knew that Kayla would never abandon her pet. Suspecting that something was wrong, the family immediately filed a missing persons report. However, the initial police investigation found no signs of kidnapping or an accident, leading authorities to speculate that the couple may have left voluntarily. However, family and friends strongly disagreed. Kayla loved her dog, and Charlie kept in touch with his mother daily. The search efforts intensified, with loved ones posting on social media, distributing flyers, and reaching out to the media. Still, there were no clues to their whereabouts. A few days later, the case took an even stranger turn. Charlie's Facebook account suddenly became active, posting bizarre updates. Initially, the posts reassured everyone that we're fine, but soon, the content became confusing and even threatening. Family and friends immediately noticed that the writing style did not match Charlie's usual way of communicating. They began to suspect that someone else was using his account. This discovery prompted the police to shift their focus toward those who had recently been in contact with Charlie and Kayla. One name stood out: Todd Kapp, a known acquaintance of Kayla with a history of violence. What connection did Todd have to this strange disappearance? And who was really behind the disturbing Facebook posts? A few days after Charlie and Kayla disappeared, something strange happened. Charlie's Facebook account suddenly became active again. New posts began appearing. At first they were reassuring, saying things like, "We're fine." But soon they became increasingly bizarre. Some posts had a mocking tone, while others referenced disturbing topics like violence and disappearances. Charlie's friends and family immediately noticed that something was wrong. The writing style did not match Charlie's usual way of communicating, and there were even misspellings he had never made before. Even more concerning, private messages were sent from his account to his friends, asking for money due to drug addiction, something completely out of character for him. Realizing the red flags, Charlie's family immediately called the police. Investigators quickly got involved, analyzing his Facebook activity to track the IP address and determine who was really behind these posts. While reviewing text messages and friends lists, one name stood out: Todd Kapp, an acquaintance of Kayla. According to her family, Todd had worked with Kayla and had recently reached out to her. As the investigation continued, police discovered that Todd had a history of violence and had previously been convicted of kidnapping. This information made him a prime person of interest. However, another odd detail surfaced. Some of Charlie's Facebook posts resembled those of his ex-wife, Nicole. This led police to suspect Nicole might be involved in the disappearance. When questioned, Nicole admitted that she had been in contact with Charlie and Kayla after they disappeared, but she denied any involvement in the Facebook posts. This led investigators to waste time following the wrong lead, while Todd Kapp had yet to be thoroughly investigated. As police continued to monitor Todd, a witness came forward with critical information. This person claimed to have heard that Todd owned a large piece of land in Spartanburg and had mentioned burying something important there. At the same time, cell phone records showed that Kayla's phone had last pinged near Todd's property. With these key clues, police decided to shift their focus entirely to Todd Kapp. They began asking the big questions. Could Todd's property be the key to solving this disappearance? Would police find crucial evidence before it was too late? After identifying Todd Kapp as a prime suspect, police began closely monitoring him. Clues from Charlie's Facebook account, Kayla's phone records, and witness statements all led to one location, Todd Kapp's 95-acre property in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Realizing that this might be where Charlie and Kayla were being held, police quickly obtained a search warrant. On November 3, 2016, a team of investigators was dispatched to Todd's property. Upon arrival, they noticed that the area was heavily fenced, with no trespassing signs posted and no signs of normal activity. To get a better view, police deployed a drone, which spotted a large metal container behind a storage shed. This immediately caught their attention. While one group of officers approached Todd at his home for questioning, another team searched the property. As they got closer to the container, they heard strange noises coming from inside. Loud banging and desperate cries for help confirmed that someone was trapped inside. Using crowbars and bolt cutters, police broke the locks on the container. When the doors swung open, they were shocked by what they saw. Kayla Brown, chained up, with her neck locked to the wall. Despite being held captive for 2 months, Kayla remained alert and immediately told the officers what had happened. She wasted no time in revealing the chilling truth. He killed Charlie. He shot him 3 times, wrapped him in a blue tarp, and buried him over there. Police immediately arrested Todd Kapp, while forensic teams continued searching the property. Not far from the container, they discovered Charlie Carver's remains, buried in a shallow grave, exactly as Kayla had described. He had been shot 3 times in the chest, with no chance of survival. During his interrogation, Todd initially denied everything, but as evidence stacked against him, he began to confess. However, what truly shocked the investigators was Todd's complete lack of remorse. He even bragged about other murders he had committed. As police continued searching the property, they found 2 more bodies. The victims were identified as Johnny and Megan Coxey, a couple who had been missing since 2015. Both had been killed in a similar manner. Johnny was shot immediately, while Megan was held captive for several days before being murdered. With overwhelming evidence, Todd Kapp was charged with multiple counts of murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. Todd also confessed to a mass killing in 2003, a case that had remained unsolved for years. After police rescued Kayla Brown and discovered Charlie Carver's body, the investigation quickly expanded. When arrested, Todd Kapp initially denied his crimes, but when confronted with overwhelming evidence, he began confessing to a series of horrific murders. Todd not only admitted to killing Charlie Carver, but also confessed to multiple other murders, including that of Johnny and Megan Coxey, a couple who had been missing since 2015. Police discovered their remains buried on Todd's property, just as he had done with Charlie. Investigators found that Johnny was shot immediately, while Megan was held captive for several days before being killed. Todd tormented her psychologically, then shot her in the head and buried her nearby. But Todd's crimes did not end there. During the investigation, he shocked the public by confessing to a mass murder from 2003, a case that had long seemed unsolvable. On November 6, 2003, a horrific massacre took place at Superbike Motorsports, a motorcycle shop in Chesney, South Carolina. 4 people were brutally murdered with a 9mm handgun. Store owner Scott Ponder, his mother Beverly Guy, employee Brian Lucas, and mechanic Chris Sherbert. Each victim was shot multiple times in the head and chest in what appeared to be an execution-style killing. For 13 years, this case left investigators baffled. Police suspected multiple people and even looked into personal conflicts, yet no clear leads ever emerged. Now, Todd Kapp calmly admitted that he was the one responsible for the massacre. In his confession, Todd revealed that he had previously purchased a motorcycle from the shop, but found it too difficult to ride. Instead of learning how to use it, he developed a deep hatred for the employees, believing that they had mocked him. His resentment grew so intense that he decided to kill everyone working there. Carefully planning the attack, he returned to the store one afternoon, pretended to be interested in buying a new bike, then pulled out his gun and executed each victim one by one. Todd described the murders in a disturbingly matter-of-fact way, even boasting that he completed the massacre in under 30 seconds. His chilling confession sent shivers down the spines of investigators. Todd did not just kill, he saw it as an achievement. During his interrogation, he showed no remorse whatsoever. Instead, he bragged that his body count could already be in the dozens. He even claimed that he aspired to reach a triple-digit kill count, but had not yet had the opportunity. Todd's shocking admissions infuriated the victims' families, but at the same time, helped law enforcement close cases that had remained unsolved for decades. But was this the full extent of Todd Kapp's crimes? Or were there still more secrets waiting to be uncovered? After Todd Kapp's arrest, police continued gathering evidence to finalize the charges against him. The investigation revealed that the case wasn't just about Charlie Carver's murder and Kayla Brown's captivity. It was linked to several other unsolved disappearances. Authorities realized that Todd might be a serial killer, and their mission now was to uncover the full extent of his crimes. The first step was a thorough search of Todd's 95-acre property. Using drones to scan from above, police detected several suspicious areas. Some parts of the land appeared to have been dug up and refilled, suggesting possible buried bodies. When they began excavating, they discovered 2 shallow graves. The remains were later identified as Johnny and Megan Coxey, a couple who had gone missing in 2015. Forensic results confirmed that Johnny had been shot immediately, while Megan was held captive for several days before being murdered. She had been executed with a gunshot to the head, just like Charlie Carver. This pattern suggested that Todd was a repeat killer, and there was a high likelihood of more undiscovered victims. The investigation didn't stop there. Police examined Todd's financial records and uncovered suspicious transactions. Over the years, he had purchased a large number of locks, chains, metal containers, and various weapons. Even more disturbing was that Todd left chilling reviews on Amazon for these items. In one review for an industrial-grade lock, he wrote, "Very sturdy lock, strong enough to keep someone inside if needed." But the most shocking revelation came during Todd's interrogation. He confessed to a mass murder from 2003, a crime that had remained unsolved for 13 years. On November 6, 2003, 4 people were brutally murdered at Superbike Motorsports, a motorcycle shop in Chesney, South Carolina. The victims were store owner Scott Ponder, his mother Beverly Guy, employee Brian Lucas, and mechanic Chris Sherbert. They were all shot multiple times in the head and chest in execution-style killings, with no signs of struggle or robbery. This case had puzzled investigators for years. There were no clear motives or suspects. But now, Todd Kapp calmly admitted that he was the killer. He explained that he had bought a motorcycle from the shop, but found it too difficult to ride. Instead of learning, he blamed the store employees, believing that they had mocked him. His resentment grew into an obsession, and he plotted revenge. On the day of the massacre, Todd pretended to be interested in buying another motorcycle. He waited for the shop to be empty, then pulled out his gun and executed each victim one by one. He even boasted about how quickly he carried out the murders, saying, "I did it in under 30 seconds. His confession sent chills down investigators' spines. Todd didn't see murder as a crime. He saw it as a game. With all the evidence collected, police had enough to charge Todd with multiple serious offenses. But the question remained, were these the only crimes he committed, or were there still more secrets waiting to be uncovered? After gathering all the evidence in Todd Kapp's confessions, his trial took place on May 26, 2017. For his horrific crimes, the court sentenced Todd to 7 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, ensuring that he would never walk free again. Justice had been served, but the pain he inflicted could never be erased. The family of Charlie Carver was left with a permanent loss, and Kayla Brown, though she survived, was forever scarred. She had to undergo extensive therapy to cope with the trauma of her 2 months in captivity. This case also left behind valuable lessons. It serves as a reminder of the dangers of trusting job offers from strangers and highlights the importance of staying in touch with family and friends in any situation. In the aftermath of the case, awareness of personal safety increased within the community. Victim support organizations were established to help survivors of violent crimes, and workshops on recognizing warning signs became more widely available. This story stands as a powerful warning. Sometimes danger comes from things that seem harmless. Always stay vigilant for your own safety and the safety of your loved ones.